morning, everyone, and welcome to the Crusaders of the Lost Idols weekly stream with Erika and Kat. We're coming to you live from beautiful Victoria, British Columbia. I'm Erika, the Live Services Manager for Crusaders and the Community Manager for Codename Entertainment, and that's Kat in the little Zoom window, the lead artist for Crusaders.
Hello.
So we'll be going over your coloring sheet submissions for Koivu the Dryad, because we're there already first.
Yeah.
And we'll be taking your questions.
Yeah, time just keeps going. This one was pretty interesting to see the submissions because most of them were done before Koivu's in-game official colors were released. And also, I think just due to sort of the complexity of the way that I do bark and then all the leaves and stuff in the background, there were various degrees of people doing like up here. This was, oops, I don't want to delete that. This was all just one big branch, but this person decided to split it up and it still looks good. So yeah. It's interesting to see. So this one was done after he was shown. So he's got his proper colors, quote unquote. Oh no, please don't. There we go. A very colorful one. I like the sort of chunky gradient of the colors. The eyes are a little freaky though. This is a really nice one with pencil crayon with like natural looking colors for the dryad and then funky colors for the real tree.
And the pink squirrel. Yeah.
Makes me think that he's like in the Feywild or something. I know that we're not D&D, but I still play a lot of D&D, so. And here's one with the simpler coloring sheet that got rid of many extraneous lines. That's why I'm zoomed in. Come on. There we go. This one made a neat decision of like, he's got pants, but no shirt, but sort of a one strap for the little like shoulder shawl thing. Yeah, it's cool to see the different things people will decide on. And this one has a whole lot of effort.
Isn't that the AI or no?
No, this is somebody on Twitter who has done quite a few detailed ones with shading and gradients and stuff like that. And another one that decided this little spot was an emptiness and really made it work because of the shading. Yeah, looks really nice. And I like this color scheme. Very like muted natural colors. And the opposite, some very bright. I don't know why, it makes me think of a gesture a little bit.
Like, don't the Batman Jokers usually get done in blue and green and purple?
Usually his scheme is purple, green, and orange. But yeah, I don't know. It's good though.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Always nice. I like the gradient on his necklace here, and yeah.
Two tones on the squirrel.
Yeah, it's nice to have that little extra effort. Give it a little belly difference. Oh, that was the same person with some slightly different colors.
And Viz is a squirrel.
Yeah. Here's a nice simple one that's kind of almost Peter Pan-esque. Like just very, very simple two tones, but it works. It's good. The pink really stands out. Another nice pencil crayon one. I really like all the different color schemes people came up with, having not seen his true colors.
In-game color scheme.
And here's a really nice one, again, from somebody on Twitter. I think they said they even used Clip Studio Paint, which is kind of neat. But lots of like nice brush texture, and yeah, looks really cool. This one has another nice two-tone on the squirrel, even into the tail. Mm-hmm. And the bright purple in the ears is interesting. Not something I saw anywhere else. Well, this one's watercolor.
Right.
So that's nice. Yeah. Pretty cool. This one I'm pretty sure is Zodi, because it's that very specific style they have of coloring over everything with a semi-transparent brush. I like how many colors there are in his hair. This one has a bunch of filters, which gives him a interesting texture that I'm not sure that I like. It's a little weird, but I appreciate the different perspective, as it were. This is a AI colored one.
Okay.
And just with black and white, but it looks pretty cool. And another one that has a lot of good multiple colors in the leaves. The lines got colored, and it almost makes it look like it's been inverted, because the lines are brighter now. And this one's markers. A little bit of a blurry photo, but that's okay. I like that the squirrel is green.
Yeah.
Like the squirrel is also magic, and that just one arm is green and discolored from the rest of him. That's also interesting. Sort of camo colors. Looks real nice. This is another AI colored one with sort of a sunset palette. It's interesting that just this one spot got really purple, and most everything else is orange.
Yeah.
Another nice natural colored one. And that is the last one. So, yeah, as always, thanks for submitting and playing along, and hope you enjoy. My tablet pen. Feel free now to ask all of your questions of Erika or myself. I'm here too.
Yeah. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Jay on the CNE Games Twitch account, doing the moderation and grabbing your questions from chat.
Yeah.
So we've got some regulars. We've got Vingummy, Cassius, Melanion, Jabal, Leptimus, Storinda, Kawani, JS Random Numbers. Looks like when we were talking coloring sheets, Storinda says it's technically a sparkly watercolor, but the scanner doesn't pick up the sparkles when she scans them in.
Oh, interesting. I don't know that I've seen sparkly watercolors.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun thing to use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, scanners are not known to pick up sparkly or shiny things very well. I've got this cool metallic gold pen that is really hard to photograph or scan.
Right. People are saying my mic's a bit quiet, so I'll try and pick me up a bit. I don't know. Xlade says, "Hi Erika, what is Una gonna be able to do?" So she'll be able to help with your speed and leveling formations as you're going through the first few areas in an adventure, but then you could maybe end up switching to your other DPS. But she does have an ability where she makes the monster health lower than the current area you're on, so that'll help with pushing a little further. Storinda says, "Hope we're having a great week." Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, not too bad.
Hope you're having a better one as well. Mr. Meat Zombie, what is Crusaders of the Lost Idols? I play Idol Champions. Is this game similar? So Crusaders of the Lost Idols is our first idol game from Codename Entertainment. It's what Idol Champions is actually based on. So we've got the formation mechanics and improving champion gear and resetting adventures for currency kind of deal. Idol Champions is going in a slightly different direction with the multiple adventure mode and multi-party mode, and the way they do level up their gear, like they use blacksmithing contracts instead of our legendary catalysts and materials leveling up system. But yeah, there's the talents and the blessings, same, so it's pretty similar. There's just more of a D&D theme on Idol Champions. Which, yeah, that's why it's Idol Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Hardball UK says, howdy all, hope you and your team are staying safe, and thanks for keeping the game going. You're quite welcome.
Always nice to hear from you.
Hope you're staying safe as well. Quaisel, did the new event already start? No, the summer sabotage event will be starting later this afternoon, so probably like 4-ish hours from now. But it will definitely be going out today. Newbie doobie doo, any chance you could reveal Una's Crusader slot number? I did tease that on the Reddit Q&A this week. She'll be in slot 34. Green Samurai 23. Is Kevin messing with the data miners by withholding code for the new event, or is he just slow today? I don't know. How often are the data miners refreshing?
Why not both?
Why not both? Yeah. Yeah, it's down to the wire on the event, annoyingly, but these things can happen sometimes. But hopefully Una will have some fun features. Gragatrim, does that mean that normal free plays can go past area 5685 now? Good question. Potentially? Where'd my Chrome go? I'll just ask Quevin. Let's check up on chat. They said I managed to get the mic volume up a little bit, so that's good. Cisco51 says hello from Austria.
Hello.
Hello. I was watching a YouTube video yesterday, and at the end he was like showing clips of people being bad at trivia, and the question was, what language do people speak in Australia? But then the contestant answered Dutch.
Oh.
So maybe they were thinking Austria, or like they didn't hear the alia part. I don't know. I was like, oh, it's kind of funny. Yes, I will check my notes. Right, it is Thursday, August 13th, if the calendar is right. So that means the anniversary codes start expiring tonight, because the first anniversary code expires at 11:59 p.m. today. So if you still haven't used your anniversary codes, you might want to keep an eye on those expiry dates. Yeah, and then chat's saying, they don't speak Dutch in Austria either.
Well, then it's just someone who didn't know anything.
Yeah, that can happen.
I mean, if somebody asked me what they speak in Austria, I don't think I could answer. My guess would be German, and I'm probably wrong. But that's why I'm not on trivia shows.
Yeah. Snow is asking, what was that about the lowered HP and Una ability? Yeah, Una will make the monsters that spawn in the area have the health of monsters 25 areas less. Fly by Moon, is anyone going to be in the Borat swimsuit at the pool party?
Absolutely not.
Newbie Dooby Doo. Hey Erika, any chance for an idle buff pause button or just a way to activate them after obtaining them? I know they last 7 days, but sometimes you activate one and a recruit new Crusader mission pops up or a gear upgrade mission pops up and you're out 2 to 3 days of a good chunk of idols because the missions require Crusaders from your farming formation to get to 100%. Not to mention the 12-hour day loss since you can't possibly play the game 24/7. I'd settle for a one-time only pause action. Actually, the more I think about it, I guess the cancel mission button would work better in that regard, unless that would result in dead Crusaders, so you're back to square one. I suppose the best compromise would be after completing a large amount of missions, you eventually unlock the cancel mission button. Or maybe an expensive tier 7 talent would be better. I don't know. Wow, that is a very long question. The reason we did idle buffs the way we did, like with the overtime thing, was because if it was something you had to trigger on reset, like, oh, I have to remember to activate the buff before I reset the world, what are the odds that you're going to remember? And then you're going to be like, well, I forgot to activate it. I missed out on doubling my idols this time around. This way, it's just there all the time. You don't have to think about it. You just need to check that it's still running if it's the challenge buff or the Dungeon Depot buff. But yeah, so like even if we have the pause button, then it's like you got to remember to unpause it. So it'll be unlikely that we change how the idle buffs work from just counting down over time. Riut Askrieger, German is correct. That's what they speak in Austria.
Huzzah!
Huzzah. Slab McLaritude says, is there a gear piece that makes the lower HP by N levels ability scale at all? We'll see. I will borrow Brandon Sanderson's read and find out, and I will say play and find out. You can unlock Una, I guess we showcase the gear on the event dialogue once the event starts. So you can check out the tier 5 page of the event dialogue when the event has started and see what her gear does. Hoff Diddy has shown up today. Hello, Hoff Diddy. They're saying they'd settle for an epic buff good for the next 10 resets if you turn it on. So like it just counts down 10 resets. And then the rare and uncommon is a little less resets. Which, fair, then you're not remembering to turn it back on or not, but I don't see us changing the idle buffs at this time. And then Hoff Diddy also says we need an empty your formation button. to clear the screen entirely of Crusaders. That is just saving a blank formation on one of the formation saves. That does work. That does help. But you do require clearing the formation first and then saving it. Just Tricky 2. Who is getting the skin for the event? It is Mildred, and it is awesome.
Thank you.
I guess you didn't have too much trouble animating it?
No.
Like, Adam was worried. I was like...
No, my plan worked out, I think.
Cool. Yes, the Mildred skin is very cool.
Yeah, hope everybody likes it. It's something that has been requested at least twice before.
Yes. Oh, tease and Mildred. I don't have the art on this computer.
No, you can wait. Snow says, Una looks like she is missing some bits. Well, she is in a wheelchair.
Yeah. I guess you cut off her legs at the knees or something, or...
Ish. About that space, yeah.
Hoftity says, if that pesky save formation button gets in your way when trying to switch to formation 5, you might like this a relocation of said save formation button. So you actually still click the number 5 instead of using the hotkey on your keyboard? I guess there's players who do either or. That's fair. Newbie Doobie Doo got some more tier 6 suggestions. The tier 1 Crusader power enhancing armor, crafted and leveled only with catalysts. A monster tamer Crusader, after defeating an X amount of monsters, it has a 10% chance to capture the boss at the next boss area. If it is successful, it grows the group DPS by the boss's area number. Example of the boss's area 600, the group DPS grows by 6% additively, if it's area 1600 by 16%, and so on. Interesting. Power armor. We'll definitely keep those in mind. Cisco 51. The game is now so that materials are the things that make our Crusaders powerful. Is there any chance to give idols more power in the future? We'll keep trying to make the idols powerful, but, I mean, with enough idols and one monster kill on Area 1, like, you've got your entire bench in some cases.
Oh my goodness. Sari, what is your problem?
Kevin says that yes, players would be able to get past the normal cap on free play by a little bit with including Una in your formation. So that's pretty cool.
Alright, time for a visit from the kitty.
Yay, kitty.
He is being exceptionally loud. So I will hug you and love you until you feel fed up and you run away. Because that's what you do. I'm glad people enjoy the cat.
Yes, cat.
Okay. Now hopefully he'll stop yowling.
Newbie says invisible power armor about the Crusader power armor. Yeah, there wouldn't be art for that.
It'd be like Wonder Woman in her invisible plane, just sitting.
Yeah. It's a double cat.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Roundbug says, Twitch advertising works. Last week I bought some lemon flavored Lay's chips. Now after today I want to try a Sonic s'mores shake.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I saw a Doritos commercial before this stream, like before Twitch showed me the stream last week, and I was like, that seems like a weird flavor, because I think it was like the lime again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like,
well, you know, Doritos are gamer fuel, so they...
Yeah. Cats are idol champions in real life. And Islamic Latitude says catception. And then Virus DK says, here's a tier 6 suggestion. Each event unlocks a new ability for Squiggles.
Squiggles game. All squiggles all the time.
Yeah. Billy Ray Joe, is there a possibility to add an open all button to the chest screen? This would be a small quality of life addition, but I don't know if the effort would be worth it. We don't plan on adding more than the open 100 at a time, just because really you should probably only be opening 200 or 300 at a time before you go back to the game screen. But yeah, just the times 100 button. Newbie doobie doo, Squiggles is too OP already. Just Turkey 2, each tier 6 event will have another Squiggle skin. 17 Squiggle skins.
I mean, after that many, it'd start to be unrecognizable.
And Full Chain 109 is asking, hi Kat, what display tablet do you use? Is it a Cintiq? And awesome art.
Thank you. It is not a name brand Wacom Cintiq, but it's a Surface tablet in that I draw on it. It's not a flat, tablet on my desk. It is a Monoprice. I forget the specific model number, but because Cintiqs are like $1,000 and this was closer to 500 or less. I forget. It was actually several years ago that I bought it, and it's really good. So I have no complaints going for a off-brand thing.
Cool. They're still talking Squiggles. And all the tier 6 event skins just make other Crusaders look like Squiggles. And then Cassius is saying, a tier 6 suggestion, Squiggles takes damage if Bat Billionaire is on the field. Which, that's pretty cool, because Joker and Batman.
Right.
Dids999 saying a complete all mission button would be more interesting than an open all chest button. And then Snow is saying, I keep squiggles out of my formations so it doesn't get too easy. I need to keep a challenge. And then Fly by Moon, every first tier 6 quest should unlock you a Squiggles duplicate. Oh, wow.
You guys are obsessed.
Green Samurai 23, serious question. Is Kat responsible for Squiggles? If so, she has come a long way.
I am. I do specifically remember doing Squiggles extra quick because I did not care for him. But thank you. I would also like to think that I have evolved and grown in my art and skill and whatnot. I guess as a little piece of trivia, my very first Crusaders were Billy and Kizzleblip. And then there was a big gap of time until I did Karen and Boggins.
Right. Slab McLarge, the Squiggles Esorgnac spectrum.
Yeah, that's quite a comparison.
Yeah.
Because Squiggles was back when it was Justin designing, and I would just get a list of, like, it was a clown. I think that was literally it. It was like, do a clown for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? So that's why he has a little 4-leaf clover in his hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Esorgnac was all me, so I got to just go nuts.
Yeah. Full Chain 109 says, awesome, looking for cheaper alternatives to Wacom's myself. Thank you.
Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, so this monoprice I would recommend. I could see if I can find the model number later, maybe after work or something. But it also might just not really be available anymore because, like I said, it was 2 or 3 years ago that I bought it.
Right.
But I would definitely say, just in general, that Wacom is not as far ahead of the game as they like to think they are. Their competitors are more than capable and often much cheaper.
Right. Amazon was trying to get me to buy a drawing tablet for some reason. I was like, what? Why are you recommending that? I was like, what was I buying? I was buying books. I was like, now that you've bought some books, buy some tablet. What? I didn't even buy art books.
That's funny.
Maybe. Yeah, no, they're just creeping somehow, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Scraping stuff.
I've been looking a little bit into, like, exercise bikes, and on Reddit there was immediately the ad for the exact one I had been looking at the other day, and I was like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah. It's just so convenient to stay logged into stuff instead of logging out every time and then logging back in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna bother with that, but it's still like, please stop creeping on me. I hate this.
Jabble says, a Squiggles wig and nose for tier 6 April Fool's jokes. Maybe?
We'll see what kind of time we have when it comes to April, I guess.
Yeah. Kuani says, we totally need a Crusader who speeds up missions. Oh, the Squiggles wig and nose for all the Crusaders. Oop.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just have the broken hat idea. I mean...
I still want to do that, even if it looks really dumb. Like, it's April Fool's. It's allowed to be dumb.
Yeah. And then Croc360 says, skin for Squiggles.
I mean, I'm sure he'll get one someday.
Pennywise would probably be fairly easy. It's just, like, elongating the eye makeup.
I mean, considering I would be redrawing him completely anyway, as I do
true.
with all the skins. It would
True.
be nice to do something more interesting than just another clown.
Yeah.
I don't like clowns, if you couldn't tell.
Slab McLartude says, Kat, I thought you were holding up a stylus, but then you drank from it and it was a straw.
Yeah, this is my my Animal Crossing cup for my water. This is my stylus.
Oh, Animal Crossing cup.
Yeah.
With KK on it, right? KK?
Yeah, KK slider.
Phew.
Music dog.
Ooh, Fire is DK. Drawing tablets make excellent frisbees.
No.
No.
No, they don't.
They're not aerodynamic or round enough to do a frisbee.
No. That would really hurt also. And be expensive. That is all sorts of levels of bad idea.
Like, even with a dead tablet, I couldn't... Yeah, I mean... There's some people who just destroy dead technology, so whatever floats their boat.
Yeah.
Newbie Dooby Doo is asking, is Una both a speedster and a projectile crusader? She's just gonna be a DPS crusader. I don't believe we're giving her a projectile. She's just rugby themed, because murder ball.
Mm-hmm.
Just Ricky 2, any small skill legendary set reworks upcoming soon. There are always crusaders that deserve a touch-up. It's always the intention to take a pass at some of the previous crusaders in an event. So when we have time, we do work that in. Full Chain 109 is Googling Monoprice. Thank you for the recommendation.
No problem.
Round Mug is asking, is there a Dr. Evil event this year? Yes, the Dr. Evil Summer Sabotage event is starting later this afternoon. And because it's the first weekend of the event, that means the weekend promo features buffs to Veronica, Bubba, Goldhound, Milgrid, and Dr. Evil. And the golden epic will be Dr. Evil's gloves.
Speaking of Bubba, he has a very strange face shape that I'm trying to decode.
Well, that's Adam did Bubba, right?
Yeah, that was a...
So, orc in Adam style, whatever that is. Hardball UK, any new Crusaders for your annual charity? Desert Bus came up in the morning meeting this morning, and we are reaching out to them to see if they're doing their Desert Bus fundraiser this year, because the virus has changed things, and they were like, on and off shifts of like 5 to 10 people in their little studio, which might be harder with social distancing, we're not sure. But if they are doing a Desert Bus charity thing this November, then we are definitely still interested in partnering with them, and we will do something with them if that is going forward.
Yeah.
Fire Please, are there any Crusader reworks this event? No, there are not any changes this event. Dr. Evil and Milgrid are pretty OP. And the others have their places. Newbie Dooby Doo, does that buff apply to Dr. Evil's skin? Well, because we don't have any skins that change upgrade effects at this point in time, I think Dr. Evil's skin just changes some flavor text and his name. Yes, the weekend buff will still apply if you're using the Dr. Nice Guy skin.
I think it also gives him the good tag instead of evil.
Yeah. That's what his skin does, but, like, yeah, none of the effects change, so it's not like, oh, this buff is only for Dr. Evil's bad upgrade instead of his good upgrade. Zabaru, hey, there they are, my favorite Thursday people. Hello, hello.
Aw, thanks.
Aw. Fly by Moon, Desert Bus themed objective where you can't reset before it has run at least 8 hours. Ooh, that could be fun. Slab McLarchich. Okay, so here is one of those questions. Since you mentioned the possibility of extended sprint being taken into account during the design of the dungeon idol changes, would this be a tier 6 talent? If the timeline on tier 6 talents is too far in the future, could you make sprint enhancement in dungeons a purchasable thing for dungeon coins? Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, interesting dungeon coin purchasable stuff, and a balance for the idol reward curve. So would that be a temporary purchasable thing, or like a talent tree in the dungeon depot kind of thing with the dungeon coins? While we're waiting, Leptimus says, since Squiggles is a St. Patrick's Day Crusader anyways, he could get a leprechaun skin.
See, I'm just thinking about it as a leper now, which you don't want to see.
What, like graphic oozing sores and stuff?
Yes. Do not underestimate me.
So about that Halloween Crusader. Slab McLaritude followed up. I'd say a dungeon-specific permanent enhancement. Talents work everywhere, and this adds sprint to the dungeons only. Interesting. Cool. We'll keep that in mind. Cassius says Mildred could maybe use one of her legendaries to buff going deeper. She needs to keep up with Nate and Dr. Almquist these days. I think Mildred's still on top, actually. She's just not mimed anymore, potentially, because you want to mime Langley and other Crusaders. But yeah, Mildred does require you going deep to get her bonus, whereas if you've at least put some time into Dr. Almquist, he can help you if the objective is truncated. Oh yes, and I have a note here to remind players that the idle buff from the coloring sheets, the past 3 weeks of coloring sheets, expires tomorrow if you haven't used that as yet either. So you can find the code on Reddit or other places players have shared it. Roundmug, is there a way to compare stats with other players, and is there a way to have a race to get from one level to another? That would be cool, although I don't want to chat with other players, just compete. We don't ever plan on having leaderboards for Crusaders. I mean, it is a single player game, so whatever progress you make is up to you. And like, I know marketing at one time did want to have a race, so like they would have the idea was that we would get 2 people in the same room and tell them to try and get as far as they can at starting an objective, like based on their formation knowledge and everything, but that was about like the only thing that we were thinking of race-wise, like two people in the same room racing each other. And I don't think we ever did that, but...
Yeah, I very vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
It still sounds weird to me.
But otherwise, I know that chat does race each other. It's like, oh, I finished that recruit objective in 30 minutes. And everyone's like, oh, it took me an hour. It's like, but yeah, it's just more comparing yourself with your friends if you want to do it that way. Lexi late lunch as it's my one day in the office this week. Did you tease what slot Una is in? Yes, she's in slot 34. Slab McLartuge, for the weekend buff, we all think that we have to go deeper should be the one that Milgrid gets buffed. Just saying, it'll be totally fine. Totally fine. Ryan 92084 says, I could go for an oozing leper skin, but what I really, really want is that Shining Twins style skin for Carmen and Petunia, matching blue dresses, the creepy stairs, etc.
That would be cool. Carmen and Petunia are kind of in the back as far as like lineup for skins go, because they already have one. But I'll keep that in mind for the future.
Hardball UK says, in Idle Champions, you have some hidden clicks on the scrolling level. Any chance of doing that in Crusaders? Maybe giving out a buff or some idols. The distractions were easier to add to Idle Champions because we knew we wanted that basically from the beginning. But
the backgrounds are made completely differently.
Yeah, no, the backgrounds are set up programmatically kind of deal, right?
Yeah, from the art side, they do layers, and then it gets all parallaxed and stuff programmatically, whereas in Crusaders, a background is just one
static
big
background.
static image that the artist puts together.
So it's not impossible, but it would require like going back and doing each area individually, essentially, to put a distraction on it. So it's not something that's high on our priority list.
Yeah.
Slab McLartude says, the race thing sort of happens in Discord every time a new Crusader is added that changes the meta. They race to find out the best formations with the new Crusader.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Just Ricky 2 says, wait, Una is in the Amani slot. Oh dear, I am worried now. I mean, she has to go somewhere, and we do have all these empty bench seats right now. And at least this way, if she doesn't work out as a DPS for you, Imani gets some more EP for the talents and Crusader powers that want EP. Fire, please. Milgrid weekend buff would be so OP. Was there ever a weekend buff to Mindy's Mimic or someone else that was comparable to that?
I'd be kind of surprised if it never happened. Mindy's been around a long time.
I don't think we buff Mimic on Mindy weekends. Definitely players had really good luck with the Langley Kogu buff we did a couple weeks ago. That pushed them further. But yeah, we try to to have some measure of not super OP weekend buffs, but
Fair.
Which is like, oh, then we don't use your weekend buff Crusaders, so. Gregatrim, any chance for an eventual objective talent that allows for continual area advancement, so no area transition at all? No, because we need those area transitions for loading stuff. Fly by Moon, so Crusaders backgrounds are like the Flintstones backgrounds.
Yes, actually.
Cool.
Yeah, old animation would just be very long sheets of paper that you would draw on. Back in college, I did a looping background animation as one of my animation assignments, and there's always a point where your paper ends and you have to tape it together, and making it look seamless is quite difficult.
Yeah, I know some of the old animation stuff is so trippy. It's like they made movies by hand.
Yeah, and Hanna-Barbera was all about cutting corners and saving money, basically. Watch any two of their shows and you will see all sorts of reused animations.
Well, I mean, even Disney did that, right? Because
comparing
Aurora is Snow White dancing. No, someone else dancing.
It's the Robin Hood, the animal Robin Hood that I think it's Maid Marian is Sleeping Beauty's dance animation.
Right.
Yeah. Which, like, especially in the days of Snow White, when they were like just a couple steps away from rotoscoping real people because they were using reference that heavily.
Yeah.
It took a long time. And like anything, it takes years for styles to develop and people to actually like solve the thing. So looking at animation now as compared to like the 60s, it's just kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I can talk about animation all day.
Yeah, chat was saying the Langley Koivu weekend was really strong for them. Fly by Moon. Do a weekend buff where you buff all the meta Crusaders' most important upgrades just to see what chaos will happen. Oh boy.
Weekend of chaos.
That would definitely be a chaos weekend.
But then everybody would just be sad all the time after, like, oh, don't you remember that one weekend? It's like a drug. Like, you take it once and you want it more.
Kinda. Slab McLartude, any thoughts about filling in more empty slots in the tier 7 talents? Definitely something on my to-do list for hopefully soon, although Kevin has some other priorities right now. Fire please. For the future, is there a chance that we get a robot skin for Dr. Evil, like he looks at Area 50 of the event? I know that he already has a skin, but it was super cool and helped the robot challenges.
I mean, if you just want the monster version, that's really easy. I know there were some requests for the little robots that were escorts at some point of what was it? Nate, Bushwhacker, Jim, and Panda?
Yeah, Panda robot. Yeah, he'd be cute.
Yeah, and I mean, if we just basically reuse that art, I just have to draw like a front facing, and that's not too bad. So I don't know. I guess something to consider.
Oh, so it does need extra art.
Just a little bit.
For selecting in the skin screen, I guess? Is what
the
front facing is for?
On the bench. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. Newbie dooby doo. Your game has crashed because your formation was too OP if we did the Weekend of Chaos. Possibly. Year-to-date hero. Yo chat just started this game like 2 days ago. Welcome.
Oh, welcome.
Any hints which talents to focus on first? And should I keep or open chests for Crusaders if I got no one from that chest available? I think the go-to recommendation is still efficient crusading to help you with your idle gain as soon as possible. And then the DPS talents for sure. If you have no one from the chest, like if you're saying in reference to the Crusader Games chest you got from the code today, it would still give you gear for Bubba and Veronica because they're just the default Crusaders for that chest. And then that gear would be on the Crusaders when you unlocked them. But if it's a weekend promo chest and you want to hang on to it for the Crusaders you don't own yet, and yeah, those ones only contain the gear for Crusaders you own. Just Ricky 2. If you guys have time next event, Boggins could use some love. We'll keep that in mind. Keyword73 says, I took a history of animation class. The instructor was a former Disney animator who went on to lead the team for the first Medal of Honor game. Oh, wow.
Nice. That's cool.
Fly by Moon, still suggesting a Governator skin for the Exterminator.
I remember that suggestion.
Yeah. Round Mug says, at Kat, there's a game that seems to have a similar color scheme and maybe some similar drawing. I don't know if you would say the art was similar. Dungeons of Dreadmore. I'm just mentioning the cover art in case you want to see it.
I've heard of that game. I can't picture it right now, but I'll take a look after stream.
Newbie Dooby Doo. Will the Taskmaster Little Reaper still be available in the coin shop when the third season starts? So far, my plan was to have the previous season items be available in the Dungeon Depot for any player who's missed them if they didn't get them during the season. So, the only thing that would be exclusive to the season was whether or not you got the season completion achievement. Slab McLarchute says, hey Kat, my great uncle was one of the original Imagineers and did animation on Fantasia. Thought that was neat. He was a fun guy.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I really love old 2D animation. I've always found it super impressive. It's one of the things that I really, really like, but I've never been able to do much of myself because I just don't have the patience for it. I feel like if I had like other people, working together on a project or something, then maybe I could do it. But when it's on my own time, I just get bored.
Right. Lexi Ree says the making of Frozen 2 on Disney Plus was actually fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know as much about 3D animation, but I do remember when it was first coming out, there was a fair bit of hullabaloo made about all the detail on the characters, like the embroidery of Elsa's dress or something. And that's 2D and 3D animation are very different. In so much that it's even sometimes like not good to compare them because they can do different things better than other things. Yeah, so that kind of detail you cannot do in 2D animation. It would take forever just to do a scene, but yeah. I don't know.
3D Crusader. No.
I do not know how to model 3D. Well, not really anyway.
Not something you've tackled yet.
Yeah. I have made one model of a character of mine, and I mean, I was happy with it, but that was a couple years ago, and I've forgotten everything, probably. Just learning Blender off of YouTube tutorials.
Right. Newbie Dooby Doo, a 3D Crusader, and it's just a block.
Yeah. I mean, I can draw a cube.
Yeah.
It is technically 3D.
Mm-hmm. Hardball UK is asking, a new Taskmaster for Season 2? We have a list of changes to the rewards for the free and paid passes that we want to do for Season 2. A Taskmaster could be among them, although top of the list right now would probably be a skin or two, which will be fun. Fire Please, will the achievement of the season be hidden for players that didn't reach it after the season ends, or do the players have to see the pain of missing that achievement forever? I will talk to Kevin about hiding that if that's something players want to hide. Croc360 says some of that older animation was amazing, especially considering what they had to go through to create it. And then Fly by Moon says 3D Crusader who is just a single polygon.
I don't think a single polygon would even be 3D because like 3D is made up of several different faces. I don't know my terminology of 3D well enough.
Yeah. Jess Turkey says skins for top rewards. Oh dear. Well, part of the changes to the passes as well. It's too hard to change this season because everyone's already like claimed different things. So we won't be changing anything for this season, but for next season, we would put like some things like halfway through the season as like the more desirable, and then like it's just extra bonus if you go all the way to the end of the level 25 kind of deal. Yeah. So wow, time does fly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. It's definitely Bubba and it's definitely Bernard.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep the like background stuff super simple this time, again, and finish that up off stream. But it is what it is.
Yeah. So the event will start later this afternoon, the Summer Sabotage one, featuring the new Crusader Una and beloveds Mildred and Dr. Evil, along with the rest of the gang. And the weekend buff will be buffing the first 5 Crusaders from Tier 1 to Tier 3, so that's Veronica, Bubba, Goldhound, Mildred, and Dr. Evil, with the Golden Epic gloves for Dr. Evil. And thank you guys for coming out and watching the stream. Thank you to Jay behind the scenes for moderating and gathering the questions and everything. And thank you, Kat, for joining me and drawing. And I've been Erika, and I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.